So with the NBA season only 2 months away, it's now time to start answering the questions that we all are having about the upcoming NBA season. Now, there's a lot of questions that us fans have about the next upcoming NBA season. Who's going to surprise us? Which team is going to, overachieve the odds? Which team is going to underachieve? Which player is going to break out and become the next superstar? Who's going to win the championship? Who's gonna win MVP? There's just so many questions, and you know what? I feel that it's my job to give you guys the answers you guys are looking for. So, in the next few episodes of NBA Talk, we are going to be starting. We're going to be calling it an NBA season preview for the 2016 and 2017 NBA season. So, in this episode of NBA Talk, we are kicking off the season preview with one of the biggest questions that we all have on our minds right now, heading into the NBA season. Who will win the NBA championship? Let's find out. So what's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to NBA Talk. Yes, in this episode, we are talking about the 2017 NBA champs. I know it's early, and I know that, anything could happen. But that doesn't stop us from having that question in our minds about who's going to win. We've seen a lot of things happen in the off season. So many different things that happen. Some good, some bad, and some mind-blowing. And, there's just so many questions behind who will win the championship. I mean, literally, it is such a difficult question because you can say one thing right now, but then a couple of months from now, you can automatically just change your mind because it's just so hard to predict from an early stage. However, I'm going to make life a little bit easier because I'm going to be making my prediction right now of who I think will be walking out in June with 2017 NBA championships. And the team that I think will win it all next year is going to be none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yes, I said it. I believe the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win the 2017 NBA championship. Now, I know a lot of you are going to be very confused by my decision. And it's a very bold prediction and a bold statement, especially what happened during the offseason. However, I'm here to shed light on why I think it's going to be Cleveland winning it all. So I know a lot of you are going to be thinking, oh, why didn't you pick Golden State? Golden State has a super team. Golden State has 4 All-Stars. Golden State got Kevin Durant. I get it, guys. But just hear me out. So the first reason why I think Cleveland is going to be the NBA champs next year, number one, is Golden State. Yes, we're going to relate it to Golden State because I think it's going to be Cleveland and Golden State in the final. I talked about this in the previous episode. So Golden State is currently the odds-on favorite at 3-2 to win the championship. Now, these are what all the analysts are saying and what Las Vegas odd makers are putting it at. But I don't think a lot of people are thinking about Golden State's actual roster and how this team is going to perform in the next season. Sure, they got Kevin Durant, but Golden State is very depleted. There's just a billion different questions about Golden State. We don't know what's going to happen with them. We don't know whether adding Kevin Durant was a good thing or a bad thing. We don't know what's the chemistry going to be like. How is Steve Kerr going to, find the minutes and find touches for all these guys? There are 4 All-Stars on this team. Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and now Kevin Durant. These guys are all ball-dominant players. Guys who need the ball in their hand in order to make a significant impact on the team. So, it doesn't make any sense. Like, at this point, we don't know how Steve Kerr is going to manage all these minutes. How is Steve Kerr going to manage all these touches? How is Steve Kerr going to manage a depleted bench? Like, this is bad for Golden State. Like, I really have so many questions for Golden State. Primarily with their bench unit. I feel that their bench unit is very depleted. And what was the biggest aspect of Golden State's success last season and the season before that? It was their very strong bench unit. A lot of analysts and a lot of, basketball writers have talked about how Golden State's success primarily comes from their depth. It came from their depth and how, their bench unit can basically be a starting 5. And that was very true. Last year, their bench unit consisted of Sean Livingston, Leandro Barbosa, Andre Iguodala, Maurice Spates, and Festus Ezeli. That was a very strong bench unit, and that led to Golden State's success. But now, if you're looking at it this year, they don't have Leandro Barbosa. They don't have Harrison Barnes, a key aspect of the starting 5. They don't have Maurice Spates. They don't have Festus Ezeli. So already they lost 3 of their bench unit and 1 of their starting 5. So Golden State already is so depleted. Like, when I look at the roster right now, I don't even see a backup shooting guard. That's how depleted Golden State is. Because you don't even have anybody to back up the shooting guard position. Who's going to back up Klay Thompson when he needs a rest? See, now with Cleveland, you don't have any of these questions about Cleveland. Because you know what you're going to expect. We know what this team is. Because we saw them in winning the championship, and this is the same team. So we know how they're going to play. We know that LeBron James is chasing another ring. We know LeBron is always chasing a ring. We know Kyrie has this newfound confidence in himself that he can literally dominate any point guard in the league, no matter who it is, whether it's Steph Curry, whether it is Chris Paul, anybody. Kyrie has developed this confidence. Kevin Love. I think Kevin Love finally is comfortable in Cleveland. Finally, found his role in Cleveland, where he belongs in Cleveland. So he's now confident. So we know he's going to be playing better. J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, we know those guys fit well in Cleveland's system. Channing Frye. Again, we know what this whole team is looking at. We know how Tyronn Lue manages these guys. We know Tyronn Lue can get these guys to play. And that's something that Golden State just doesn't have right now. Right now, we don't know anything about Golden State. Which is why I'm leaning towards Cleveland. Because I think Cleveland is right now just stronger in the sense that they are coming off of a championship. They now are better than ever. They have a very strong bench unit. I just feel that Cleveland's roster-wise is better than Golden State at this point. Just on the standpoint that we have no questions with Cleveland. We know what we're going to expect with Cleveland, whereas we don't know with Golden State. The second reason why I say Cleveland is going to win the NBA championship next year is because when they are all clicking, with all these guys on Cleveland's roster, when JR is feeling it, when LeBron is dominating, when Kyrie is feeling it, when Kevin Love is hitting shots, this team honestly plays like a super team. Like, this team is not a super team. I can honestly completely say that with confidence that this Cleveland Cavaliers team is not a super team. And Golden State is considered a super team. However, when Cleveland, as we saw last year in the playoffs, I distinctly remember this. I turned on my TV to watch the Atlanta Hawks versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in round 2 of the NBA playoffs. And I was absolutely bewildered by the fact that Cleveland was absolutely annihilating Atlanta. They were literally destroying Atlanta. Just 3 after 3 after 3. I love to call this the 3-point barrage of Cleveland. And that's what all of those guys are clicking. All of those guys are feeling it. And that's scary. That's something that no team in the NBA has shown they can do. When all their guys are clicking, they can overcome any team. And we've seen it. Just ask Golden State how hard it was to beat this Cleveland team when they were at full strength, hitting punches left and right. That's something that Cleveland has that no other team possesses right now. Not even Golden State. Because Golden State don't have that ability to turn it on, to, all the guys to come together as a unit and elevate to a whole new level of play. And that's what Cleveland, I believe, is better than Golden State. I believe Cleveland is better than any other team at doing that, as just snapping into a zone where they can absolutely overcome any team. And also, I think that because they won the championship, this team is a lot more confident. So now they're going to be playing even better because they're even more hungrier to win another one. So that's another reason why I think Cleveland's going to win the championship, because they all can play. When it's really on the line, everybody's going to step up, and this team is going to outperform every other team in the league. We've seen it before, and I believe they're going to do it again. And finally, the last reason why I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to win the NBA championship is because of LeBron James. LeBron James is the heart and soul of this Cavaliers team. Like, without LeBron James on this team would not be a title contender. Let's face it. Let's face the facts. We all know this to be true. There's a reason why I never liked Stephen Curry being the MVP of his team. Because when you take Stephen Curry away from his team is still going to perform. His team is still going to be considered a championship contender. LeBron James, however, if you take him out of his team is no longer considered a championship contender. And that just shows how much more valuable LeBron James is to his team than Stephen Curry, making him the most valuable player, because without him, his team would completely demolish. And LeBron James is honestly has cemented his legacy of one of the greatest of all time. Like, there is literally nothing that this guy has not achieved yet. And he's hungry. He wants to win more championships. He wants to cement a legacy for himself, which he's doing a fantastic job at. Yeah. And when this guy is motivated, he will do anything. He will elevate himself to a whole new level just to achieve his goals. We saw this in the past 2 NBA finals, how LeBron James, when the time really mattered, stepped up and he carried his team to the finish line. That's exactly what we saw in this year's final, where LeBron James had some monstrous games to push Cleveland to a championship. Especially with that monstrous block in Game 7. This is something that Golden State does not have, or any other team doesn't have. They don't have a guy who's been to 7 NBA finals, 6 straight NBA finals, has won 3 championships, is a 4-time MVP, and is arguably one of the best players in the world. That's something no other team has. LeBron James has been to so many NBA finals, has been in so many pressure situations, that it's almost natural for him to step his game up when it really matters. And that's something you don't get with Golden State. We saw with Oklahoma City how they weren't prepared Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in that Game 6 against Golden State were not prepared to step their games up when the time was right to elevate themselves and to give their team the push they need to beat Golden State. That's something that wouldn't happen with LeBron James. If LeBron James was up 3-1 against a 73-9 team, LeBron would elevate himself in Game 5 to win. Would elevate himself in Game 6 to close the deal, to close the chapter, to finish the team off right there. That's what LeBron James would do, because he knows how to do that. Guys like Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, these guys don't know how to do that. Any other player in the NBA right now does not know how to do what LeBron James can do. And he can elevate himself to that new level. And not only he elevates himself, he elevates his team too, because he, as we saw, is a gifted passer. He will share the ball with his team. He will push his team with him. He will drag his team with him. And that's something no other team can do. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I think Cleveland is going to win the championship this year. Because LeBron James is motivated. He's motivated now to beat this so-called super team that is Golden State. Analysts are already writing them off and saying that just hand the title to Golden State. But what we're not looking at is, number one, Curry couldn't get the job done. Curry completely failed his team. He did not elevate himself to beat Cleveland in the final. Same like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant did not elevate himself in that Game 6 to beat Golden State. He did not push his team. He did not will his team to the NBA Finals. But LeBron James, he willed his team to a championship. And that's something that no other team has in the league right now. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I think Cleveland will win the NBA championship this year. So overall, that's my bold prediction. That's my pick to win the NBA championship in the 2016-17 NBA season. It's none other than the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because number one, the roster is stronger than Golden State's. Number two, when that group of guys click, they can elevate themselves to beat any team. And finally, number three, they have LeBron James, whom no other team has. Who I think will win the NBA championship next year. Now, what I want you guys to join me in this to answer this question. Who will win the NBA championship next year? Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think it will be Golden State? Do you think it will be Cleveland? Do you think it will be, any other team? Like, my dark horse is going to be the Clippers or the Thunder. Those two are my dark horses to win the championship. But right now, my pick is going to be Cleveland. Let me know in the comment section. Do you agree or disagree? I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Again, more episodes like this are going to be coming out. We are going to be answering more questions about the next upcoming NBA season. So please stay tuned for that. Right. Subscribe to this channel. I don't know what you guys are waiting for. I mean, we have a whole season preview. We are giving you the NBA season 2 months early. So subscribe if you do not want to miss that. And as always, guys, I'm Hani from NBA Talk, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.